Okay, what you have to do is get your hand like this, and then just leave it still like Jello, and then. Okay, so I have your hand like this, and I want you to say, now connecting to my ability to control my immune system.
Sorry? I couldn't hear that, sorry.
Say, I'm now connecting to my ability to control my immune system.
Okay. Out loud?
It doesn't matter. Yes, out loud.
Okay. I am now connecting to my belly to control my immune system.
Now you have to just wait for it, and then suddenly a signal will head down from your brain, and then it'll just and the signal will just flip by yourself. Just wait there. Did something, or you can get a pulse. Oh, I got a pulse. Has any of you felt anything and you think?
I think I got a flick.
Okay.
I think before I got a pulse. Let me try again. Okay. Now connecting my belly to my immune system. Now connecting my ability to my immune system.
You said you have to say, I'm now connecting to my ability to control my immune system.
I'm now
Okay, fine.
connected to my ability to control my immune system.
Okay, I'm now connecting to my ability to control my immune system.
I got a
I'm
flick.
joking. I think I need to get a pulse. I'm not really getting anything.
I can hear the people talking from here.
My pinky twitched a bit. Is that good? I felt a little.
Now you're connected. You have to say. Say, and now, do I have any viruses in any of your bodies? If you don't get a flick, then you don't.
Do I have any viruses or any
In any of my bodies.
in any of my bodies?
Then just wait for it.
Oh wait, okay, I'm gonna redo that. Do I have any viruses in any of my bodies? Or whatever?
Do I have any viruses in any of my bodies?
I just got a pulse. I think I'll try again. Do I have any viruses in any of my bodies? Got a pulse.
Okay, tell them what a pulse means.
Oh no.
A pulse means yes.
Oh no.
I
What's
got
that?
a flick. I got a flick.
I have a cold, I think. Would that count as a virus? Okay, no.
I think so.
I have a cold, so I think I do.
Go.
People who have viruses say, do I have any? I'm now removing all viruses from all my bodies.
Okay. And now removing all my viruses from all my bodies. And what happens if we get a flick? And
That means it's done.
okay. I am now removing any viruses from all my bodies. Sure, yeah. I'm gonna try it again. I am now removing any viruses from all my bodies. I got a pulse.
I got a flick.
I think I got a pulse right here and here. I got two pulses.
Oh.
Two.
Yeah, I have a pulse. I got a
Yeah, I think I got a pulse too. I think. I am now removing any viruses from all of my bodies.
Yeah, I got a pulse.
Yeah, I think I got a pulse. Pretty
Okay,
sure.
now you're going to say, do
I'm
we
gonna
have-
do Irishman. I
That-
have to put that. Sorry.
You gotta put on.
Sorry.
Oh, now you're going to say, is there any bacteria in any of my bodies?
Is there
Is there
any
any
bacteria in any of my bodies?
Oh,
I
I
got a
saw
pulse. No, I got a flick, sorry. I got a flick.
Okay, let me try that again.
Okay, you're sick.
I am now checking for any bacteria in any of my bodies.
I got a flick.
I got a flake.
Okay, then you two are sick. And quick, take them to the doctor.
Hang on,
I
let
am
me
now
try.
checking for any bacteria in any of my bodies.
Hang on. I got a pulse.
This was like filmmaking.
I don't think I'm getting anything.
Okay, then
I
you
got
don't. Okay, then you aren't sick. Quick, take those two to the doctors. They're sick.
High five, Liam.
I'm not sick.
Yeah, because we're sick. Because we aren't sick.
Okay, I'm checking that again. I am now checking for any bacteria or in any of my bodies or whatever. I am now checking for any bacteria in any of my bodies.
How long are you? Alright, now, okay, now, did you get a flick on bacteria?
I got a pulse, I think. Yeah.
Okay, then say, now removing all bacteria from all my bodies.
I am now removing all bacteria from all my bodies. I am now removing all bacteria from any of my bodies.
I got a pulse.
Okay, that means you're clear. Okay, so, okay, Emily,
I am
you
now
don't need to
removing
pick up her.
all bacteria from any of my bodies. I think my thumb sort of twitched. I think I got a bit of a twitch in my thumb. Yeah, I think I did.
Okay, don't pick up him.
I got him.
I think
Okay,
I
then
did.
pull. Don't.
And take another breath. This is the forest where I am, where I've been filming myself. Well, it's the internet. It's the World Wide Web. I can be anywhere, so why not be someplace really wonderful? A wildlife area in Central Florida. It's a block from my house. Now, have you been doing this along with the people? Coming up with little questions? Doing little questions pop in your head? And do you see if you can get a signal on them? Or have you suddenly noticed a finger movement or a good feeling coming over you when you thought of a question? Like there was an answer there along with the question? Because that's what this is. So take another breath. And think of a question and see if you get a signal on it. And it doesn't have to be any question that you've heard anybody ask or answer. Well, it can have to be yes, no. But other than that, the sky's the limit. Well, I don't know if it dawned on you yet about this. This is the only bumper sticker in the world that tells people they can cure things. So, which means it makes it worth putting on your car. You know, you may also be wondering, sometimes people wonder, like, why do I talk so much? And why am I always explaining this to you? Why don't I just let you watch the people do it and, start doing it or whatever? And I'll tell you, if I could be here for you, like if we were together, I would do that. We would just, like, if you watch me show Molly, I tell her a few things, but then, boom, 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 she starts testing. We're going to see more of Molly, Molly's coming up, okay? But But see, the thing is, I can't be here for you in a movie, and so if you fall on your face, I can't catch you. You know what? Give me any 100 people in the world in a room, we'll all be curing things in 20 minutes. 20 minutes later, there will be, 3 or 4 people who just can't do it. But everybody else, they'll help each other. They'll all be doing it. But when you're alone out there on the web, yes, I'm gonna be here for you. And the people I work with expect that of me. They want you shepherded through this. So that's what we're doing.
Well, to answer the question about the irregular heartbeats when I was helping that person, I just told her what I do because I didn't know what else, but she has to study what else it could be. Like, she has to test, is it allergies, is it chemical imbalance, whatever. So what I do is
So you sent her off in that direction.
Yes,
You said,
so,
find it, use these lessons, test these things.
Right, so I basically removed allergies, and then I balanced all my levels, and balanced my hormones, and removed any propensity to heart attack or high blood pressure and all that. So I do this whole rigmarole, and it's gotten to the point where I can actually feel when it's happening that it actually calms down. Like,
yeah, right.
Like I do it
It's
until,
almost instantaneous.
Yeah, I do it until I feel the relief.
Mm-hmm. And what did she do?
I don't actually know if she did she actually cured it.
That's did she ever write you back and tell you anything?
No, she thanked me.
She wrote you back and thanked you, but she didn't give you any particulars. No. So you see, that's what we're up against in this game. We're up against that people ask for things and we assign them lessons and give them things to do. And I think a lot of time they just space out on it, or they do a little bit and it doesn't seem to be working because they're, not doing it.
Well, you can't get discouraged, because I cured some warts like that. I had this wart on my bottom of my foot, and I used that, that compound W stuff or whatever it is, and like it spread, and there was like for all these warts until like my pinky toe looked like it was gonna, like the one part of it like looked covered with this big, I guess it's a plantar wart.
Oh God!
So I said, well, I'm just gonna start removing this. So I started removing it. 1 week later, they were all gone, every single one of them.
Did you keep removing it for the whole week?
Well, whenever I thought about it. I mean, I tried putting duct tape, all these things they say to get rid of warts.
But the only thing that worked was removing it.
It didn't work. I tried it the first time, and then
It's sort of like...
I didn't do it long enough.
You kept doing it, but also you forgot about it, and then one day you looked and the warts were gone.
Well, it was literally a week later.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I was doing it, and I thought, well, nothing else has worked,
Yeah, so you just kept doing it.
And it was like a year.
But when you discovered the warts were gone... Oh, you mean you were messing with those warts for a year before you decided warts are viral based.
But I swear that as soon as I really put my mind to doing the Immunix removal, that
within a week they were
without
gone.
Doing the other stuff.
So you mean you went a year trying to get these warts off with all these methods?
That's right, and they kept spreading. I mean, it's like
and
I put that stuff on.
Then in a week you removed them and they were gone.
That compound, whatever it is, it takes the skin off, so that the virus would spread into that raw skin and make new,
Oh my God!
And I thought, what am I going to do here,
So you actually took them out by removing them, and then they were gone.
Yeah, I can't understand why. I tried it like half-heartedly with Immunix like before that, but then I just didn't get the result. But then I guess it's also
so there's
intention.
a difference. There's a difference between curing, and they can look the same. Like you can hold up your hand and you can get a signal and all this stuff that people think it is, and they're not curing it.
That's right.
You actually have to be curing the thing.
It's like an
for
intention.
It to go.
That's right. You have to have the intention. And there's no other way to do it. So
that's what this movie is. This is what I'm trying to say to people in this movie. What you just intuitively hit on. So you're being trained to follow this thread of signals. You know, as you see, the kids are just picking up the thread. You know what? Let me show you what happens for them in within like 10 minutes, okay? So here, just watch this for a minute. Watch them again for a minute.
How are you guys? Are any of you guys feeling any different? Anyone feeling any different? Any changes?
Yes.
What are the changes?
I have a relaxation in my chest.
Oh, that's nice. That's good.
I can breathe better from my nose.
Yeah, and I can.
tired.
Oh, and I'm also breathing a bit better than before. I don't have all the mucus in my throat.
Good.
Okay, they then. Okay, Annalise, you don't.
Okay, you notice the girl started curing it. You didn't know what it was, though, did you? Because they never said what it was. She had asthma, allergies. I don't actually totally remember, but it was asthma for sure. Allergies, maybe. But anyway, you notice she was breathing and all that. You know, the symptoms were disappearing. You're being trained to pick up the presence of disease at the subclinical level and follow the thread of signals to a negative medical test and beyond. And the beyond is really important because now for the bad news. And if you're a cancer person, you know what I'm going to say. If you've got cancer, you know what I'm going to say. You know, if you got herpes, you probably don't. But you know, you were definitely expecting the bad news, though, right? Well, we say, oh, yeah, you can cure all this stuff. And you go, oh, yeah, sure, okay. Well, what's the bad news? You know? Here it is. When you get your negative medical test, you'll probably still be hosting the disease. And if you've got cancer, your doctor will tell you that. He'll say, okay, we're not picking it up anymore. It looks like you're in the clear. Now, statistics show that within 2 or 3 years, you're going to have cancer again. So what you're being trained to do here is pick up signals that you still have the disease after your negative medical test comes. And before, and you know, and take it out and get the negative medical test and then keep tracking the disease to the point where you never get another medical test that's positive for the rest of your life on anything. Ever. Period. And like that, it was gone. That's it, baby. That's the idea, anyway. Because these little tiny subclinical, you know, diseases that you can't pick up on a medical test, from tiny little acorns, mighty oaks do grow, you know. And so there's 4 signals that, you know, you're curing something. There's maybe more, but there's 4 of them certainly that we're looking at here, and you've seen a couple. And another one is the negative medical test. That's another signal, you know, that you've cured something or are curing it. And another one is the disappearance of symptoms, which you saw the girl get, right? And in Bill's case, see, back to Bill, he didn't have any physical symptoms. They caught it early. But see, you don't have to catch things early. You do not have to catch things early. My friend Edith cured her cancer, which was her second cancer, which they caught in the middle. But you know what? No, I don't. I tell her story elsewhere. Look, here. You see this? You see this guy? I mean, this CD. God must have wanted you to have a CD, because as Providence would have it, somebody who owned a CD company cured terminal cancer and donated a CD. And, see, here's what you need to learn from this. By the way, his cure shows are on the Cancer Cure Show page. There's about 8 cure shows with him. There are all these follow-ups, and you can hear him go through his whole process. And he was doing what you're being taught to do here and getting worse. He was not doing it completely, effectively. He was, what can I say? He wasn't, he was doing it, but he wasn't doing it. He wasn't somebody who cures things. And he went terminal. The cancer was wrapped around his heart. The doctor gave him 3 months to live. The last drug failed. They gave him a whole series of drugs, and the last one was some experimental drug. It didn't work. His doctor told him there's nothing else. There's no treatment. He was asking him, as doctor, should I do, this, what we're doing here? His doctor said, do anything. Anything you can do it. Because I ain't got nothing anymore. It's over. Okay? And you know what? I think he needed to go terminal before he would buckle down and actually cure the thing. And he cured it. He did. He cured it. Wow. Boy, huh? And another thing, I don't think he ever would have cured it had it not been for Keely. Aunt Keely, who sends you the email and the Cure Drive, giving you tips about how to cure things. That aunt. If you're not a Cure Drive member, you haven't met her yet, but if you are, you know who I'm talking about. And he was a friend of hers. That's how he found us. He was her buddy. And Keely would not let go of him. She just would not stop with the guy, okay? And I think she saved his life. That's what it came down to, was he needed somebody. I mean, we're talking about being there for you, like I'm trying to be here for you in the movie. Well, Keely was there for Charles. Charles Smith, you can't miss it. He's got the most cure shows of anybody in the Cancer Cure Show page. Okay, so this is why no doctor will ever write cured on your medical test. Because, you probably, it probably isn't, especially when the disease disappears out of nowhere and they don't know where it went. They do not write cured. You should hear what a doctor is going to write, okay? This woman, I'm going to play you a message this woman left for me on my answering machine from New Zealand. She cured 4 incurable diseases. And so now you're going to hear what they write when you cure 4 incurable diseases. And while I play it, I think I'm going to run some clips of people volunteering, which is, at this point, probably better than looking at my ugly mug, right? So listen to her and watch these volunteers, because maybe you'll get the hint, that we want you to volunteer, and see that. And we want your money. Oh, we want your money. And we want you to volunteer, and we want you to cure it and shout it from the housetops. And listen to this woman. Here we go.
Hello, Payat. This is Elizabeth. I'm from New Zealand, from Wellington, New Zealand. So, well, I want to say thank you so much for the website. So, and I want to say that I am so good. I am very healthy. So, from the time I learned to do, I do nearly every day. And I don't have any symptoms of any herpes or any symptoms of Epstein-Barr virus or cytomegalovirus or chronic fatigue or anything. I went to the doctor and I had tests, and all my tests coming out with past exposure to Epstein-Barr virus, past exposure to cytomegalovirus, and so on. Everything was past exposure. So I had my results with me from the doctor. So I am really happy. I don't have any symptoms of high fever or anything, glandular. So, and I am at university, so I enroll. I am doing part-time English, but I feeling really, really good. So I am not tired anymore. I don't have any chronic fatigue anymore. For me, been wonderful, and I am in the calm, clear place. So I am for all of you, and so to invite you as well, if you like to come to New Zealand for a holidays one day. Bye.
I didn't know. So this is what they write. Now you know. Now you know what to expect when you make your disease disappear, your lupus, or your Epstein-Barr virus. they write spontaneous remission. Andrew Weil wrote, here in the States they do, I guess in New Zealand they write, I can't remember what she said, but it's the same thing, you know, previous exposure, that's what it was. Andrew Weil wrote a book called Spontaneous Healing back in the 80s, long ago. I read this thing in the early 90s. It was a wonderful book. He's an MD, you know, wrote about this thing they write because people's diseases disappear all the time, you know. They just gone, and then nobody knows why. And you know what? Every time the disease disappears, they're doing what you're being taught to do. Except generally, they don't know it. You see, what you're being done, this college, Lesson 1 and the college and the books and everything you see here are about you. They're about you. Doing consciously and intentionally and also dependably what these other people did, like Bernie Siegel, another cancer surgeon, wrote about a guy. The guy was diagnosed with terminal cancer. They caught it late. They told him, you're going to have to check yourself right into the hospital. He said, I can't. I'm just telling Bernie Siegel's story. I heard it on one of his CDs. And the guy, he said, I can't. I have spring planting, and I'm going to go plant my garden. He went and planted his garden. 6 months later, no cancer. 7 years later, no cancer. Bernie Siegel followed this guy up, you know, and he didn't know how he did it. But this is about training you to do this dependably, whenever you want, wherever you want, in minutes, and having it be gone. Though not with cancer, it may take you weeks, not minutes. It took once Charles chose to cure his cancer, I guess his turnaround time was a matter of weeks, but it wasn't minutes, okay? It was not minutes. That would be nice. You choose and then boom, it's gone. Back to business. I don't think so. All right, anyway. So you're being trained to develop a skill called curing, but what I really this movie is about is not just developing this skill, because see, there's lots of people who can cure things, and they are not somebody who cures things. This lesson 1, is about making a transformation, a transition, a change. You're going to have to change. You're going to have to change into somebody who cures things.
That's how fast it is for you.
Huh? Oh yeah, it's instantaneous. I mean, I'd like to think I'm connected almost all the time now. I don't always have to stop and check.
Now, you've helped thousands of people.
I know. But I really had to learn how to protect myself too, and not overdo it. That was something I had to learn about giving. It was like the wounded healer thing. I had to make sure I was learning how to protect myself while working with other people, or you know, let people go when they didn't want to. I didn't want to push anybody. I've learned that in my later years, that you really can't, you know, you have to wait till the person really is ready to change or wants to learn. But I'm happy to do with movies. People just click on it and then they can follow along. I don't have to tell anybody to do anything. This is great. The internet. Mm-hmm.
Well, I want everybody to know who you are.
Oh, good. I do too.
Yeah.
I am everything and nothing. Well, good. I have my pink sweater on so I can look like the holidays. Hanukkah and Christmas.
Now, I want you to test this question, and this time hold up your hand. I'm just going to give them a sense of how your hand looks when you do this.
Okay.
And ask, am I someone who cures things?
Am I someone who cures things? Am I someone who reflexively cures things? Yes, I am.
Did you get a signal?
Yeah, and like I was saying yesterday, when I test whether I was always like that, I actually got no. That's something I've become. Someone who reflexively cures things.
Now, when you got that signal, did you get a feeling signal as well as a finger signal?
I got it sort of in my heart and in my hand.
Yeah.
My hand.
And can you describe a little bit about what you felt in your heart?
Well, it's kind of a high-hearted feeling, actually. Maybe kind of a raising of my heart energy, if you want to put it that way.
There's the people who don't. And you are presumably still somebody who doesn't. And after, now we're going to have, there's a lot more to this lesson, and you're going to start curing things for real. You may have already started curing things because you've seen enough so that you could have cured a few things. And, but then you're going to, then you're going to get more and more sophisticated, and you're going to develop this skill. And when you develop the skill, you're going to still be somebody who doesn't cure things. See, you aspire to be somebody who cures things. See, like Dr. Phil says, you got to get real about this. Okay, if you're somebody who doesn't cure things, this is something you really need to know about yourself, so that you can get real about curing whatever it is you intend to cure that you brought in here with you, which may just have been a bunch of emotional baggage, which is good to cure too, not life-threatening, but definitely harming everybody around you with your emotional baggage. Or maybe it's cancer, which will harm everybody around you and decimate their finances and rip them to shreds emotionally as you die of it. And yes, you need to get real about curing it. This is about getting real about curing. It's Dr. Phil. I like Dr. Phil. He's a good guy. He's a sweet guy, Know yourself, know your enemy. In 100 battles, you will be victorious. Sun Tzu said that. So if you know how to cure things, that's knowing your enemy. And then Sun Tzu said you have a 50% chance. When you learn how to cure things, you will only have a 50% chance. But if you know yourself and what you're doing right and wrong and who you are and where you're coming from, the place where you're coming from, then your chance is 100%. Everybody succeeds with this. There are no people who don't succeed with it when they do it. Most of us fools, when we come in here, I guess I'm including myself in that, but it's true, because I was exactly like everybody else when I started. It's the same thing. As a matter of fact, this is how I knew to say this, and we all ask the same question when we start, and it's the wrong question. It's the wrong question. The question that we ask is, can I cure it or not? Can I cure this or not? Wrong question. What's the right question? Think. What's the right question? You know this one. Come on. The right question is, am I somebody who cures things? See, now you know why I was so scared when Bill called me and he told me he had hepatitis B, because I cured my herpes. So I should have known, it's possible he can cure it. I mean, I did know in my head, but why did that fear grip me, Why did my chest contract like that? Well, I got a whole series of stories to tell you about Bill, but see, right now the thing you need to know is when Bill called me, I was somebody who doesn't cure things, and had been all my life. Even though I cured my herpes and I'd been curing things right along, and I used to cure things with diet before I discovered that I didn't need diet and I could cure them directly and all that, I was still somebody who doesn't cure things. That's it. That's why. So you see, Bill, and in the stories that are coming up about Bill, you will hear, created this transformation in me. And I am now somebody who cures things. And this is why, I'm asking you to help Rokia, because people who cure things help other people cure things. Just like we cure things in ourselves, we cure things in other people. There is no difference. I can't see somebody be sick. I just can't look at it. Okay, I got to do something. Because I can. Why do we do things? Because we can, you know. And you know, if you want to become someone who cures things, behave as though you were already, even though you're not. So see, this can really help you, not just the person in the car behind you, because this will help the person in the car behind you, because she just got the death sentence from her doctor and she needs to see this. Her doctor told her she's got terminal cancer. She's riding around frantic. She's scared to death. She's wondering how to avoid telling her family till right before the end. Because her son is in medical school, he's getting great grades. She doesn't want him to come home and be with her while she's dying. What's the good of that going to be? You know, she's got a point. She has a point. This is what people do. They don't tell anybody. You know, a guy just goes and quietly blows his brains out one day. Hey, why did Dad commit suicide? Well, he was dying of cancer. He didn't want to go through it. Sounds right? So, yeah, you know, it helps the person in the car behind you. But you know what? And it's not going to, having this on your car will not turn you into somebody who cures things, okay? You're going to have to do a lot more than that. But I tell you, you're going to have to change. You know, it's a matter, you will need to change. So what's the right question? You know, the wrong question is, can I cure this or not? Yeah, you can cure it, you know. What's the right question? The right question is, am I someone who cures things? And then, am I test? See if you get a signal. Am I somebody who doesn't cure things? Is it my nature to cure things? These are the important questions, and this is what this video book is about. You. You know, Dr. O, you know, he writes, you on a diet, you and, you know, you this, you that. This is about you. You know, I love Dr. He's a sweetie. See, Dr. O is somebody who cures things. He is. I mean, but see, Dr. O doesn't know how to cure things. He hasn't met me. But he is definitely somebody who cures things. See, I wasn't. He is a natural. He could end the HIV epidemic in Africa, that guy. If he ever found out how to cure things. Now, if you haven't begun doing this, you may be thinking, though, like, well, maybe I should go back, because I haven't started, so I'm not getting a signal, so maybe I should go back and try watching it again. No, I think that you should watch the people getting signals as you go forward, and, you know, watch them get signals and see if you start getting one then. Because it's probably, like, it's not this is not a technique, okay? It's like you hear something and boom, it starts to happen. It's just something you hear somebody else do and boom. You know, people have told me they started getting signals when they were listening to a Cure show in the middle of it. Suddenly their finger actually moved spontaneously. A lot of people start with spontaneous signals. And another thing you can do, this might not work for you if you try to do it by yourself, but you hear it on the Cure show all the time, is just to say things you want. Say things you want and see if you get a signal on each one. And all the ones you don't get a signal on aren't it. Okay? So what you want to do is find the thing that that you say you want it and you get a signal on it. Like, I want to find the person who'll wipe HIV off the planet. Okay? Let me try and see if I get a signal on that. I got a signal, right? 2 words out of my mouth and I got a signal. So that's that's what you do. I didn't show you the signal. What does it matter what my signal looks like? What matters is what yours looks like, you know? Right? You don't need my signal, you need your signal. Okay, so anyway, that's the way to do. Go forward in lesson 1 and just keep watching people and, you know, see if you get started there. If you don't, by the end of lesson 1, watch it again if you want. Mazel tov, you know. Do whatever you need to do. I mean, you got to do whatever you need to do. this has to work, because this is the only cure for a lot of these things. So this better work, okay? That's the right attitude.
4, 3, 2. Welcome to the Cure Drive. Hi, Deborah. Are you there? Oh, the Cure Show. Let me start that again.
Wait.
That's all right. All right. Does I sound like a radio reporter or something like that? Okay. Did that surprise you? Okay. From the top.
Yeah, he's gonna do.
Hi, Deborah. Welcome to the Cure Show. And you're calling from Arkansas, near.
You have endometriosis.
Right.
Yeah. Well, on this Cure Show, you called because you wanted to get to the bottom of this.
Yes.
And you're intent upon this, which is great. That's what you need to do, regardless of what you have, or you have to go all the way to curing. So we're going to train you to follow a thread of signals to get all the way to a negative medical test. And beyond that,
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
tell us.
Okay, I've had female problems most of my life, and especially endometriosis, and it got so severe that back in 07, I ended up having a hysterectomy, a complete hysterectomy, in hopes of alleviating this problem for good, and unfortunately it came back much worse than it was before the surgery, and I've been in pain every day since October, which has been a few months ago. And so I am very determined to rid myself of this because it's really affected my life and my family's life. Typically I have cold hands and feet a lot, and some hair loss and possible thyroid issues involved, and also adrenal fatigue. I was diagnosed with that a couple of years ago as well.
Okay.
For the endometriosis, I'm just trying anything I can to avoid the drugs that the doctor offered me. I refused the drugs.
So you haven't been using medications, but you've been using supplements and natural things?
Natural things, and I'm on natural progesterone cream to help with the endometriosis as well.
Okay. And you said you have been doing some testing about this, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us kind of specifically what you've been doing? Have you been doing any removals, or just give me the nature of what kind of work you've been doing with Immunix?
Just basically, just the basics. When I was looking on the website, just the basics. I didn't really know, it was so overwhelming with so much information. I didn't really know which direction to turn. That's why I was most interested in having some help with that.
Yes, it can be overwhelming.
Yes.
But what have you picked up anything specific, or have you just been reading and absorbing?
Mainly just reading.
Have you done any immunic actions?
Not really, not other than just the basic for the immune system. That was basically all I've done.
Does that mean the basics, you know how to remove something, or no, not yet?
Yes, I do. I was doing that. I've done that before with a sore throat, and I got rid of that within 15 minutes.
Oh, that's great. So what have you been